For more analysis on this, let's talk to Chris Doyle, who joins us live from Marseille in France. He's a Middle East commentator and director at the Council for Arab-British Understanding. Chris, welcome. You would have just been hearing the breaking news coming through there from our correspondent Priyanka in Beirut, a decision to a plan to disarm Hezbollah, but the details of that being kept secret. What do you make of this outcome this evening?
Well, it begs many questions. This has come about because of the pressure from the United States, from Israel, and indeed from other countries on the Lebanese government to do this, to disarm Hezbollah. But just quite how they expect the Lebanese army to do this, and also to do it in a way that doesn't basically lurch into protracted strife and civil conflict, is completely unclear. And there will be many Lebanese who will not like the idea that it's foreign powers who are essentially bullying the Lebanese government into doing this. They are using Lebanon's desperate need for economic support, for reconstruction, and all of this in order to compel them to take this move. But I think that if you look at the military position of the two sides here, the Lebanese army has never been strong. It is nowhere near as strong as Hezbollah, even after the Israeli hits on Hezbollah that were obviously so destructive last year, the downfall of many of its supporters, including the Assad regime in Syria, the weakening of Iran and its other allies in the region. So it is far too much really to expect the Lebanese armed forces to be able to do this on their own. And if you look really at the history of such conflicts, such disarmaments where one non-state actor gives up its weapons is more likely to be brought about by negotiation, by political compromise, and very unlikely to be brought about by brute force. Certainly not without some extremely negative consequences. And there's a risk that this will fling Lebanon into an ever more polarized situation that will be confessional in nature as well as political, that the Shia groups, and as Priyanka stated, that it's Shia ministers left the cabinet today, that there will be these divisions. So I think that unless there is a slight change of direction and a way of negotiating towards Hezbollah laying down its weapons, this is going to be very, very dangerous.
And the decision to keep the details secret, Chris, really indicates just how much officials are aware of how sensitive, how divisive this is. But presumably the plan won't be able to stay secret for long as it is carried out. I mean, to your point, do you think there's any way that the Lebanese officials can proceed with this plan to disarm Hezbollah without triggering civil conflict?
It's really hard to see. I mean, you're going to have to get some form of Hezbollah consent to do this in part. I cannot see how they'd be willing to do this without significant political gains. I can't see that they'd be willing to do this without Israel committing to its side of the November agreement last year about withdrawing its forces and stopping those attacks. I think that is extremely unlikely. So what are we going to see? The Lebanese army going into Shia-dominated areas and fighting house to house to get to these arms? It's really quite an extraordinary proposition. And the Lebanese army will not be liked if it does this with the support of either the Americans or the Israelis. So it's really hard to see where this goes forward with any success. And I think it really owes, the crassness of this plan really emanates from a Trump administration that has a very bullying attitude towards, well, many aspects of its policy, but particularly towards the Middle East, demanding other sides do exactly what it orders, but without any sense of the realities on the ground or understanding of the nuances of the situation.
Chris Doyle, Council for Arab-British Understanding, thank you so much for your time and analysis.